Rise with India podcast on ET Now.
Good morning and happy Monday to you. This is the daily morning update from ET Now and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 19th of July. The top news over the weekend was the deal between the OPEC and its allies to increase the supply of oil going forward. The oil cartel agreed to gradually add more oil supplies to the market, ending a 2-week disagreement between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. The unusually public dispute that tested the unity of the cartel was resolved in classic compromise, with Riyadh meeting Abu Dhabi halfway in its demand for more generous output limit. The disagreement, many said, had brought the cartel to the brink, but its biggest member is confident about its future. Saudi Energy Minister Abdulaziz bin Salman told reporters after the meeting that consensus building was an art and that the deal was evidence of the strong bonds between members, showing that OPEC Plus is here to stay. Based on the deal, output of oil will be raised by 400,000 barrels per day each month from August, continuing until the output goes back to normal. Brent crude was at $72.50 to the barrel last I checked. Mumbai had a torrid weekend on account of heavy rainfall. At least 25 people lost their lives in house collapses triggered by landslides following the rains, which caused severe waterlogging and disruption of suburban train services as well as vehicular traffic, according to officials. The Western and Suburban Railway briefly suspended services in Mumbai after the heavy rains, and many long-distance trains were terminated or regulated at various stations. In major corporate news, you'll want to pay attention to the HDFC Bank results that were announced over the weekend. Rohit will tell you more about that. And in the M&A space, Reliance Retail Ventures will acquire 40.95% stake in Just Dial for 3,497 crore rupees, giving the retail arm of India's most valuable company access to a database of millions of merchants and other users. Reliance Retail will be classified as a promoter of Just Dial post this deal, according to an announcement on Friday. The company will also make an announcement to the public shareholders of Just Dial to acquire up to 21.7 million shares of Just Dial, representing 26% in accordance with takeover regulations, potentially taking the total shareholding to 66.95%. If fully subscribed, the payout by Reliance Retail Ventures for Just Dial could amount to 5,719 crore rupees. The National Payments Corporation of India is in talks with several global agencies to expand the global footprint of its indigenous payment networks, RuPay and UPI. And some of the destinations could include Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Bahrain, European and North American countries, Mauritius and Singapore. In international news, China's regulatory crackdown on its technology sector and US consumers possibly saving more than they spend are twin risks facing the world's economic recovery, according to Ruchir Sharma, the head of emerging markets and chief global strategist at Morgan Stanley Investment Management. But Sharma isn't predicting an economic crash. Instead, he is warning that the consensus for a robust boom may be overlooking downside risks that may cause momentum to fade sooner than expected. And with that, it's over to Rohit Singh for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Rohit. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex. Keep a close eye on Nifty if it manages to take out 16,000 this week. The broader market, meanwhile, are extending the run-up, now rising for the fourth week. Nifty sustained itself over 15,900 despite the selling in Infosys shares on Friday. Now, a holiday curtailed week is beginning, with major index companies set to report numbers. Foreign portfolio investors have sold shares worth about 4,500 crore rupees in the first half of July in a sign of caution. They were net sellers on Friday as well, dumping shares worth about 460 crore rupees. Domestic institutional investors bought shares worth about 666 crore rupees. OPEC and allies have agreed to release crude supplies over the next 2 years. The agreement commits to restoring all the cuts made at the start of the pandemic. Meanwhile, Wall Street ended the week lower for the first time in a month. Let's tell you about the active stocks this morning. Reliance Retail is acquiring 67% in Just Dial for over 5,200 crore rupees. This is the second biggest buyout by the retail giant. L&T Finance has had a sizable rise in Q1 collections in a tough quarter. Bad loans have been slightly higher as compared to previous quarter. HDFC Bank has delivered in-line set of numbers, but the margins remain under pressure. However, the commentary is upbeat. Watch out for results of HDFC Life and HCL Tech today. A major push for green power came through as HPCL said its petrol pumps will have Tata Power EV charging facilities. Watch out for the telecom shares as the Supreme Court is expected to hear the AGR case today. Bank of Maharashtra is looking to raise about 400 crore rupees through institutional placement of shares. PNB Housing Finance will remain under lens as the regulator has told the Securities Tribunal that it needs to probe the role of PNB Housing's directors regardless of the ruling. Shares of GR Infrastructure will debut on the exchanges today following the 100 times subscription. To recap, on Friday we made a high around 15,960 levels but ended flat. This week, major results could sway the sentiment even higher. Wish you all a profitable day ahead. Thank you for listening in. It's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Rohit. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
The Rise with India podcast on ET Now.